Okay, this is our first peek at our wet kit, our diverter valve for a Newholland tractor. Talked to Andy over at Tractor Innovations. So he built me a kit for a Workmaster 50, and these are all the components that comes with it. We got some type of bracket assembly, the hoses. He wasn't too sure about these fittings, so I had to give him measurements of the fittings, but he was able to get these fittings. So the quick connect fittings, we have all that. And there goes our kit. Kit looks straightforward. I gotta do some research and see how to mount this, and also how all the components are assembled. But outside of that, it looks straightforward. I'll probably work on it this weekend and try to get this thing mounted. This is Can, and this is our diverter valve or wet kit to give me more flexibility with the front end loader as far as attaching drilling attachments or grapple buckets in order to do some more work on the farm and properties. I'll give a final review on how this stuff is assembled and how we get it going. So stay tuned for part 2. Okay, here I am just laying out the hose assembly to see how we're going to actually route this. These two connectors will go into the circuit that we're going to plumb for the diverter. Let's see if I can get this camera in a better spot. So Andy had to make sure we had the right type of diameter for the connectors, which it does seem like it is the right one. These are going to be the hydraulic lines going to feed the attachment. I just laid it over top of the front end loader to see how I'm going to route it. I'm going to try to use some of these guides if I can fit the connector through the guide assembly. And we got, whatever we do, we got to route it so we don't pinch it anywhere with any kind of cylinders that's driving any type of function of the front end loader. So like on a grappling bucket, we have these type of connectors. So I got to figure out where and how I'm going to mount this to what part of the tractor to have clearance, so that when I do attach everything, that there won't be any possibility of damage from operating the front end loader or any part of the tractor. And once I get it all up and run, we'll get this rock bucket off and we'll go ahead and give it a test drive and see how it operates. So I got to do some thinking and playing around to see exactly how we're going to mount this on this Workmaster to give me some type of with hydraulic functions for other different attachments. So stay tuned for part 2, where I'll wrap up the installation and we'll see what we're going to do. And I'll probably end up drilling this bracket here, so I get some new drill bits so I can make sure I have a good some good cutting into this metal. I think it's about 3/8 inch thick, but it seems to be the most strongest point. This won't move. This part of the front end loader is also not going to move, so I want to make sure I have enough clearance and be able to grab the knob as I'm in the operator position of the tractor. Stay tuned. Hey, here's my fabricated bracket to hold up the diverter valve. I just drilled a couple holes just to make sure the holes are going to line up for the current holes on the diverter valve, and this side is going to mount to Newholland arm for the lift. Here's the bracket mounted. I just use existing holes in the arm. Okay, the diverter valve is mounted. This bracket looks pretty firm, and we can operate the bracket. We can operate the valve. All that's left to do is just finish tie wrapping the cable bundles. I originally was going to use the curl circuits, but the lines were barely going to reach, so I went with the lift circuits. These two should be the lift circuits that goes to the main cylinder for lifting. Outside of that, wasn't too hard putting this thing on. I fabricated my own bracket, and it looks like I still got a few leaks here at my couplers. Hopefully those will seal up with these new ends. I cleaned everything off before I put the couplers back on. Outside of just routing the two main hoses and tie wrapping them in place, I am done. This tractor has been converted with front remotes.